Hello there again. My name is Sheri Shereni, and I want to welcome you to another one of my series in helping you to maximize your potential and to find fulfillment in life. Let me say to find fulfillment and contentment in life. It is a sweet spot that everyone should be. And I speak to you because these are things that are very personal to me, because I've lived them and they've helped me to know who I am and to rise above mediocrity. You know, if there's one thing in life that you must make enemy number one, it's average. You are not crafted to be an average person. There's something very unique about you. There's something very distinguishable about you that if you don't find it for us, you are robbing society of it. So I want to help you to maximize your potential. And the title of my topic today is called Seasons. You know, seasons talk about change. We are going through change. I mean, I was born many, many years ago in 1960. And so I've seen a lot of life. The first decade of my life was a season on its own. We can talk of chronological seasons. We can talk of seasons in life that are brought to you, maybe even by the death of a loved one, or by the birth of a child, or by a change in status, a promotion, a demotion, many things, good and bad, that define seasons around our lives. Your reaction to seasons is also very critical to you remaining true to who you are and to continuing to maximize your potential in spite of any season that you come across in life. Now, let me begin by saying many people deny seasons, especially women. You want to deny a season of age because you say, I don't want to be called this and that. I'm now a grandmother, and one thing that I'm enjoying and shouting on every rooftop is that I'm a grandmother. And in Spanish, they call them abuelita. I love that title because I have to embrace my season. Why is it important to embrace a season? If you do not embrace a season, if you live in denial about a particular season in your life, whether good or bad, you are denying a certain maximization of who you are and who you need to be. You are denying yourself a certain fruitfulness that you must bring in that season of your life. Now, all of us are persuaded to be who we are and who you should be by something. For others, it's tradition. For others, it's faith. For others, it's culture. For others, it's different motivations. One of my greatest inspirations in life is my faith. And you know, one of the things that challenged me in my faith, and I don't take faith as sort of like an opium. You know, Karl Marx defined Christianity as the opium of the poor, almost like a drug that you smoke in order to escape reality. I never wanted that for myself. It's not an opium for me, but it's a tool to maximize me. It's something that helps me to really understand, to be in tune with me. And I want it for yourself. So in terms of seasons now, if you do not embrace a particular season, you do not become fruitful. One of the things about my faith that I cherish very much is that it says I should be fruitful in every season. So how can I be fruitful in a season of good and in a season of bad if I don't accept it, if I don't embrace it, if I don't come to terms with it, if I live in denial of it? So the very first thing that you must do if you really want to maximize your potential, regardless of the season that comes to you, is don't be in denial. Do acknowledge it. Sometimes it's very painful. I went through a season when my father departed from this earth in my 33rd year of life. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. It was painful, but I had to sit down with myself and tell myself, Baba is no longer there. It was a bitter pill to swallow, and with every syllable that I tried to pronounce, it would take me minutes to get over just the acceptance that he is no longer there. And I had to convince myself that I will never see him again. I mean, I think that session for me took me almost probably an hour. It felt like a lifetime because it was very difficult for me to accept that reality. But I had to tell myself, you need to come to terms with with this reality. Otherwise, you will not be maximized to deliver the fruitfulness that you should deliver in this season. So many of us go through certain seasons. Some of them are seasons of divorce and or rejection, and you are in denial. You are fighting for acceptance in a situation that is telling you you have outlived this situation. You need to move over to another situation so that you can be maximized. So, you know, I loved T.D. Jakes. If somebody gets away from your life and goes away from your life, then embrace them. They were there for a season. So if you live in denial, you are not going to be maximized. You are not going to be as fruitful as you should be in that season. Another bad defining season of my life came when my mother passed on. And I looked around and I realized, you know, we no longer have any cover, because when Baba left, at least Mama was there. We had a cover. Now, both covers were gone. I sat down with myself and told myself, I will become the mother to my siblings. I will become the mother to my family. And just that redefinition helped me to think, who is a mother? A mother will accept and embrace any child regardless of who they are and regardless of what they do. And I had to do that to myself. Otherwise, in my grief, in my mourning, in my crying, I could have failed to deliver a certain thing. I could have failed to see opportunities that were coming to comfort other members of my family. So the moment I did that, I find myself saying, you know what, I should help to bring our family together. We should help to support one another. And there's so many things that happened as a result of me just changing the paradigm in my mind to embrace the season. So don't be in denial. Whatever season it is, and most of the seasons that undermine our potential are the bad seasons. Those are the ones where you need to sit down with yourself and really come to terms. If people say you are not good at what you are doing, ask yourself, am I really good at it? If you are not good at it, then admit it. Do something that will make you good at it. I had seasons like that in my life. You are not performing, you are underperforming. I had to sit down with myself. Am I really underperforming? Yes, I'm underperforming. So do I want to perform better? Do I want to overperform? Yes, I need to overperform. So what must I do? And I began to determine certain actions that I would do in order to outperform. And lo and behold, before I knew it, I knew I needed this course, I needed this training, I needed to find from so and so. Already my consciousness was raised towards me, finding things that will help me to overperform and to associate with people that are going where I'm going or have achieved what I want to achieve. And before you know it, you have turned a bad situation around. You are becoming fruitful in that season. So change should be embraced. You have been rejected by a husband, so what? Embrace it. They don't love you for whatever reason, whether you agree with it or not. Because the more you live in denial, the more you are becoming less of who you ought to be. And the more you are feeding the purpose of your adversary. And I'm not saying the person who rejected you is the adversary. No, I'm just saying there is a devil out there who wants to undermine your potential, who wants to belittle you, who wants you to yield as little of your potential as is possible. But there is capacity for you to yield 100% of your potential. Live in the moment. Live the moment, live in the moment. You have lost a loved one. Yes, it's very difficult. It's very painful. I've lost many loved ones too. But one of the things that helped me to recover from loss, from pain, from grief, was to really embrace the reality that was there. ask myself, how do I rise from this? How do I deal with this pain? How do I become more like I know myself to be, in spite of this reality being there with me? Of course, I would give myself ample time to go through the pains. If I approach that reality and it's painful for that moment, I would savor the moment of pain and just go over it, but with an objective to say, I must get up from this. I must get up from this. If you fail, you have failed. You have lost a house, you have lost a job, you have lost something. Embrace the reality. It doesn't define you. It's simply something that happened. It's now a history in your life, but there is a whole world of opportunity lying out there for you to pick up a key lesson and to start to redefine yourself out of that mess. You know, one statement that really inspired me in my life is a statement that said, in the midst of your adversity lies a key to your destiny. You know, a lot of opportunities are hidden in the miry clay of things that happen around us. If you can extract yourself from that situation, you will have found you. You will have reached a certain eureka moment. There is no bad situation that knocks at your doorstep that if you really embrace it for what it is and desire to come out of it, will leave you worse than you were. No, it will leave you better than it intended to have left you. So embrace the season. And for you, my fellow women who really want to deny your age, you are actually living in the past. You are missing the moment of the season. Yes, look young. There is nothing wrong with that, but embrace the season of who you are. I'm now a grandmother and I'm cherishing it with every ounce of my fiber that I have in order for me to be fruitful in that season of my life to these children who are now my grandchildren. So embrace the season. Accept the reality. Do not live in denial. Do not deceive yourself. That is the worst form of deception that you can ever give to yourself. I mean, I went through seasons when I would cry. And after crying, I would say, what am I crying about? And I couldn't answer that question. And I said, well, it feels good after crying. Okay, you wanted to let out the steam. I'm talking to myself. You wanted to let out the steam. Now fine, the steam is gone. So what? The important thing for you to define yourself regardless of the season, especially the bad seasons, is to say to yourself, what is the next step? What is the next step that I must take from this bad season? Because a lot of us then settle in it and we want everybody to understand us. We want everybody to sympathize with us. We want everybody to know that we've gone through a bad season. Yes, they may for a short while, but after a period of time, they'll begin to say, after all, are you the only one? Because they've given you a limited time to come to terms with it. So if you want to do yourself a favor, before the world starts saying, come to terms with it, come to terms with it for yourself. Embrace the season, regardless of whatever it is. And have that candor, have that, what could I call it? It's kind of like a cruelty to really embrace it as it is, to take the bull of your season by the hands and begin to define yourself in the midst of that season. When you do that, in the midst of your adversity, in the midst of your bad season, in the midst of your good season, lies a key to your destiny, a key to you maximizing your potential. I'll see you in the next episode.